Well, the Saab did pass its MOT, but it did have a few advisories. And weirdly as well, I'm not gonna lie, I hadn't driven one of these. I don't know what they're like. I just knew I wanted one. When I was driving it back, I've got to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. And it's left me in a bit of a quandary because, to be completely truthful with you, I was like, this feels a bit sloppy and a bit wallowy and a bit, just wasn't what I expected it to be. So I'm now on a mission, and the mission is to fix all the things I didn't like about it. And the first on that list is sorting the engine mounts out, because I think the engine mounts are probably a little bit very knackered. So I need to get this engine mount out to start with. I watched a very brief, half useful YouTube video on it, and I think I know how to do it, but I don't really know how to do it. There we go. Oh yeah. That has seen better days. Look at how much it's dropped. That hole should be central, but it is not. I mean, it looks perfectly central on this video. It's not central, promise you. It's proper loose and sloppy. Oh my God. Look at that. That is doing absolutely nothing to mount the engine. Let's change that. New mount. One of the things I keep seeing online is that these bolts are shipped and they're not right. So I'm checking the length of them, and I'm not going to lie, the one that's come with this is exactly the same length. It's a 12.9 tensile rated bolt. It doesn't look as nice. I like the other one. I don't know why I like the other one, but I do like the other one. But anyway, that's going to go in now. I'm going to put a little bit of thread locker on this as well. You can never have enough thread locker. So let's just wing this up in here. Tell you what, it's lovely and clean up there. So you have to like angle it up and in. Then that, no, not that one. Ah. Oh, I don't know if I, Come and see what I'm struggling with. Just to get about there. Drop the engine down a little bit to get a little bit more access. Look at that, made to measure. Just needed to follow a basic instruction and it would work. That's roughly in the right place, so I'm going to put a little bit of thread lock on this. Probably doesn't need any thread lock on it, but I discovered I had a tub of thread lock, so now everything gets thread locked. Because, you know, why not? No one's going to die over a little bit of thread lock, or they might. I'm not meant to be working today. I'm going to hospital tomorrow, and I was like, I don't want to go to hospital without this being done. Like, this being done is really important to me. Yeah, so it's advisories on its MOTs were a couple of little things. Weirdly, it got an advisory for bottom ball joints. There was absolutely nothing wrong with them, but I've taken them off anyway. Bought new arms, which are being polybushed, and then I'm going to put that on. Because one of the things that felt really weird about this, it didn't feel like the front of the car was connected in any way, shape or form. It was a really disconcerting feeling, actually. Whilst I've got all these arch liners off as well, I'm going to just put chassis guard up in here. Right. I'm sure this is meant to be torqued to a specification. That's the specification. If you fancy doing this job yourself, don't use this as a DIY, but that bolt is an 8mm and these two are 15mm. What a day. What a day. First things first, let's whip the arch liner out the way. So you push these in, ugh, pull them out. That's how I do it. Not everyone should do it that way, but it works well for me. I just use a little Torx screwdriver and do the old push, pull, works quite well. To be fair, half of this arch line is already out anyway. Push, pull. Works every time. Annoyingly, I took off the other day when I took all of the under tray off, sorted all of that out. Imagine that, taking all that stuff off just to have to take it, put it back on again. Quite ridiculous. There's 2 bolts on the inside and 2 bolts on the outside. So we've got bolt, 2 on the back here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's whip these bad boys off. Again, I'm going to do these by hand for a number of reasons, but mainly because my electric cordless ratchet is broken, but also because everything else on this car has been unbelievably nice to get off. That was a bit of a chew, and I cut out from that, but basically the manifold studs, the manifold nuts are off, and I've left the studs in, and it's quite a long process. So I learned that from my dad. My dad's like the master of getting exhaust studs out without snapping them. It's not a one-time battle, it's a war. You have to like plan it out, and one small act of aggression can shear that stud off. So you just got to work backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. And if it takes you an hour to get each one off, it takes you an hour to get each one off. Also, don't forget about plus gas, because that stuff is the boyo. So we've got to get the lambda sensor out now. Then I'm going to disconnect the exhaust from that side and leave it hanging on the rubbers. Then I'm going to take the exhaust off. Then I'm going to change the rearmost engine mount. Then I'm going to leave the downpipe off, because a very nice man in Poland is making me a 3-inch downpipe with a sports cap for it. So that can all go back on. And then I'm going to button all the front end up, and then I'm just waiting for my polybush lower arms to turn up, and then I can put it back together, and maybe then it will drive nice. I like to give it a little tap on. That is in fact now on. These come off a lot nicer if you put a lot of force on them, like that with a snap. They snap off, rather than trying to just put random force on them and hope that it comes off. You have to kind of shock them a little bit, and then they like to come off. Try not to twist the loom when you're doing it. Try and spin the loom in your hands, because the loom on these is exposed at the end. Yes, it's shielded halfway through, but this end here is exposed, and if you twist those, you can damage them. So that's it, lambda sensor's off, so that's good. That's it for up top stuff. So now it can go back up in the air. We can take it out at the center section. Yes, I know, I only fitted this the other day. Let's separate the exhaust. Tell you what, my exhaust space did a fucking job, didn't it? Did mint that. Just hanging around in there, chilling out, doing its best. Right, now we need to get the exhaust off. I'm going to spin this around, because I'll probably do this in one hit. So there's these little hook-shaped exhaust mounts. There's one. There's two. Slide that off. One Saab 9.3 downpipe out in, what was that, 1 minute and 15 seconds. We've got 2 big bolts at the bottom, one here, one here. This bracket has to come off, which is these 3 18 mils, and this little support bar here for the gear linkage needs to come off also. Can you see? Have you seen that? That's coming off, that. Let's go. Right, that bracket should now come out. There we go. Ooh! Look at that. Yeah, that needed doing ASAP, Rocky. It's come apart in 2 pieces. That's absolutely wild. That's probably why the exhaust was broken. New one. New mount is on. There is so much more. There's a lot more clearance there. Awesome. I'm happy with that. Good. Sorry, there will be a change in sound quality because my microphone has died. Right, I've had a tidy up. Whee! I've mopped the floor, dried it off with my little space heater. Tools are all away. What is going on with this? The Under trays are all back on. Arch liners are all back on and pinned up properly. I put proper screws in the arch liner because before there was just like a massive Phillips screw. These have all been put back on properly. So that's all good to go. The downpipe is there, waiting for the new one to come. And everything is looking good. So what have we achieved? We've achieved a new gearbox mount in there. You can't really see it. You can't. This has not worked. This has not worked. There's a new gearbox mount there. There's a new engine mount there. There's a new engine mount there. You can't see any of it now that I've put the under trays back on. Basically, I've changed all the engine mounts. How am I feeling about the Saab at the moment? I'm feeling a bit weird about the Saab at the moment. I'm not going to lie. When I drove it back from MOT the other day, there wasn't stuff wrong with it. It passed a legit MOT, and the only advisories it had were bottom ball joints, but they weren't really that bad. Obviously, like shaker plates make things look worse than they actually are. Yeah, I don't really know how I'm feeling about it. It just felt a bit sloppy and soft. It didn't feel like I wanted it to feel. So I feel like I'm going to have a bit of a journey with this to stiffen it up and make it a little bit racier, I think. So standard engine mounts for now. I'm going to probably buy the Saab Sport ones from Abbott Racing when they come back in stock, just to stiffen it up a little bit more. The downpipe should change the dynamic of it a bit and make it seem a little bit louder and a little bit racier. And hopefully having those new engine mounts in will get rid of a lot of that slop. And I really think it needs a proper four-wheel alignment. So I'm going to take it to the lads at AK Automotive up the road from me. They do proper like race car geometry setups, and I'm going to get them to get the geometry dialed in. Which moves me on to the tyres. I've also bought some tyres. Corrado 309 Porsche tyres. I've bought a set of, these are going to be a very controversial tyre that some people are going to be like, why have you bought them? But they're actually really good. I've bought a set of Davanti Pro Tourer Sports. They are a literal clone of Michelin Pilot Sports. I've ran those on my Mark V and Mark 6 GTI, and I ran them on my A6 as well, and I think they are fantastic tyres for the money. Really good grip, really good road holding, the wear rate on them's great. Genuinely, they're literally, I've driven plenty of cars with Pilot Sports on, and these are every bit as good as Pilot Sports, and I don't really care what anyone says, so they're going to make it feel a bit better too. That's about it now. All I can really do is sit and wait for the downpipe and the polybushed arms to turn up. Yeah, she's just sat, not looking sorry for itself, but in need of a bit more work. So yeah, thank you for staying with me on this one. I said I wasn't going to post very much, but turns out I am. I lied. Yeah, see you next week when the downpipe turns up.